So hello and welcome to another part of On the Grind series. This series where I'm starting again in ets2 now. At the end of the last live stream, I'll just adjust my truck while I'm talking to you here. We set the truck up, so in case you haven't come across before, this is the Renault T. It's got the 380 horsepower engine, the entry level one, and I've also got it on a 4x2 extra tank chassis, and this is the truck that we'll be using to hopefully complete the profile without any engine changes. So it is fitted with a 12-speed retarder gearbox, so I'll go to job market. I have put Lane's sound mod in for the truck and also a Piva dash mod in the truck that I'm actually testing out at the moment, so with those later. So we've load here and I'll attempt to take that load there, which is part of the Jazzy Captain cargo pack, to from here in Felixstowe over to Amsterdam. And now this truck isn't really suitable for heavy cargo, but we'll give it a go. I'll just check what volumes my game audio is actually at, because I have a few things to talk about today in this video. So last time we selected a left-hand drive truck.
Let's find a new route.
So that would make life on the continent
right, and then turn right
a bit easier. So also this series has an educational series. Now, if you were in my last live stream, did ask me to explain what retarders were, and I think I made a hash of the explanation. So you go right. Diesel engine does not necessarily have a throttle. They regulate power output purely by the volume of timing and fuel injection in the combustion chamber. So that's basically how some of the principles to how a diesel engine actually works there. Right, so I will explain a little bit more, because I'm looking at another computer screen with some information up here and keep having to look over, but you get a brief explanation of jakes or exhaust brakes as well a bit later, and what the difference is between them. So I'll just pick the load up and then I'll carry on explaining. So
keep right and then turn right.
Occasional series, so I may go over some points a good few times.
Right.
So
it was a nice ride.
Right, so I'll get back to the cards in a minute. So when you come up to a business, you've got your own truck, there's a symbol there in front of it. Just stop over it, click enter, and then you have to bring up the job market and create on it. Then it'll give you all the jobs available from this business here. So you can go to Amsterdam or Paris with a load from here, but I'm going to attempt to take a 35-ton load in a 480/42 chassis, which is a bit of a challenge. Now, that's the rail company add-on, and there must be a flaw in this, so but I'll get around that little problem in a minute. I'm not being able to reach the trailer. So just got to take a brief pause here. Just pause the game while I check something, because I think I pressed the wrong pause then. So you might have seen what I did. Yeah, still recording. So if you'd seen what I did there, do it, so
turn right.
so we do have a military cargo on, so go back into the cab now. Right, so right, do this, right, so basically a retarder works by using the compression of the engine.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Alleviates pressure on the engine as well as saves wear on your friction brakes, which are your normal everyday brakes on a truck, so you know they work by air, and the more you use them, the more air gets lost and the less reliable there, so where right, so a retarder works by using the compressed air in these cylinders that's produced while the engine is running, and they use that to act like a spring to force the piston back down again, and that acts like an air compressor, and the energy for that comes from the transmission, and that, so it forces the cylinders back down, so therefore it does restrict something, and then the exhaust valves open near the top dead centre of engine compressor when the engine is turning over at high speed. This is prevented by reducing the intake manifold pressure from what otherwise would be at high speed. This is done by retarding a turbocharger so that the speed is less than otherwise would be at high engine speeds. I know that baffles me, so basically your retarder works like a spring to force cylinders back down and open the exhaust valve, so therefore restricting something and therefore reducing the speed of the engine, so they won't bring a truck to a complete standstill because they're not designed for that. So right, and then you get
keep left
different
and then
types
turn left.
of retarder and what have you.
Turn left.
Right, I'll wait till I get top of here because I've just got a message coming up on the other computer that blocking my view of the text what I rather making a hash of trying to say, so pause here and then get rid of these. Right. So I'll go through some of the different types of basically. So there's also hydraulic retarders. That's a simple retard uses vanes attached to the transmission drive shaft between clutch and road wheels. This can be driven separately via gears off the drive shaft. The vanes are enclosed in static chamber, small clearance chamber walls which also be vaned. As in an automatic transmission, when retardation is required, fluid, oil and water is pumped into the chamber and a viscous drag induced to slow the vehicle. The resultant heat of that fluid is recirculated through the cooling system. The variation of retardation can be varied by adjusting the fill level of the chamber. Hydraulic retarders are quiet and often inaudible over the sound of a running engine, especially quieter in operation as compared to engine brakes, which I will get to in a bit. And then there's the electric retarders that use electromagnetic reduction for some things as well.
Keep right, and then continue straight on.
I'm on Wikipedia, by the way, so this
Go
information might not be 100% gospel. I don't think we...
Keep right, and then continue straight on.
Electronic retarder just works with something to do with electronic mag.
Go straight on.
Things I don't quite understand what it means by that. It's a bit baffling for me. I haven't got my glasses on at the moment, so but right. Yeah, exhaust brakes are similar in operation to an engine brake. Essentially, the exhaust pipe of the vehicle is restricted by a valve. This raises pressure in the exhaust system, forcing the engine to work harder on the exhaust stroke of its cylinders. So again, the engine is acting as an air compressor, with the power required to compress the air being withheld from the exhaust pipe, retarding the vehicle. And then it goes on turbocharger retarders that restrict the flow of exhaust gas can also help in increasing exhaust. I'm trying to read one screen while driving here, so apologise for my bad driving at the moment. And so right, so where were we? Turbocharged retarders, and they restrict the flow of exhaust gas and they increase the exhaust pressure to achieve the same objective as that what I've just mentioned. Now this is a bit double Dutch to me as well, but if I remember I'll try and find a link and into this site, and hopefully it's not making things too hard for the person who asked me about retarders to understand. Right. Disadvantage of the exhaust brake is that the exhaust pipe has to be engineered for the high pressure generated. Retarding horsepower available of this system is significantly lower than other systems and cause a marked increase in engine oil carryover out the crankcase. Ventilation system. Right. Now we'll get on to proper jerk brakes here. Right. The turbocharged one is known as a compression release engine brake or jerk brake. The disadvantage of this system is that it becomes very noisy in operation, particularly if an exhaust muffler is faulty, so that's why a retarder's quiet and a jerk brake is noisy, like in the American trucks, and due to the noise that's generated, that's why they are banned or use is restricted in some like local areas or cities for that as well. I may try to simplify that and explain it again in another video, that there, but as I say, well, I told you how I thought there was something about restricting. Well, I wasn't far wrong.
Keep left,
so,
and then continue straight on.
But like, I didn't know they used air to release things and what have you, so
go straight on.
But basically both systems are there to save wear and tear on your friction brakes, which are normal brakes, which on a truck are all air operated. So, you know, if lying on the brakes all the time, that's when brake overheating comes in, which can cause fires, and also get brake fade because there's nothing, the brakes are too hot to operate properly, and also you lose your air pressure, which, you know what happens when you lose your air pressure, your brakes just lock on and then you can't move. So if you're using brakes heavily and they lock on, that can cause a lot of problems as well in components. Yeah. So this lot baffles me, but as I say, I will put a link in the video description for the site where I found this information off, so you sort of study it up and maybe interpret it a bit better yourself. But so if anybody wants to know anything, just put it in comments when I post video or go live, and I'll try to answer it best I can without making too much of a hash of it like that one in the next video. So this series, I'm going to take it as far as I can to completion, but obviously it might be a bit sporadic with length.
Keep left and then continue straight on
of the videos, and so this because there's game updates to take in consideration that might be coming up and what have you. So so time of recording, the 1.36 open beta for ATS has been released, so there is some changes in that game, but this isn't an ATS video, so that's to go. But needless to say, I don't think I'll be running the 1.36 till it actually becomes a full release version. There's no news on ETS's 2 release version, but I've seen a video of somebody actually on the open beta showing a couple of new types of trailer that they're introducing, and I know in that game there's a couple of cities being rebuilt, and also showing something else that may be a sign of what's to come in that game, because in one of the cities is remodeled as an international site, so that game. And as far as I want to go trying to explain that one. This profile, as I said, I've got company add-on which is seen there, which can actually cause some things like that. I've got transit catchment cargo packing, I've got the railway cargo packing, I've got the trailer and cargo pack, but I haven't added the AI packs in yet. I may do later. I've got SIF traffic, realistic traffic in, I've got his realistic AI sounds in. I've got a couple of PIVA. I've got PIVA mods, and this is the night dash. What the difference is between the night and day one, I don't know. I'm trying. I've got Lean's sound for the truck as well in. I hope. If I activated it, and I've got one or two more. We've got no bloom add-on in as well. As a rail company's modding as well, so I'm only testing some of these mods out for now, so if I deem that they're worth it, I'll try to dig the links out and put them in the description. So well, the truck that I start with, engine and gearbox, I'll keep throughout, but the cab will probably stay, because this is just the normal sleeper, it's not the high roof one. And I may add additional customization to the truck as we go, but seeing the bit where I actually got this truck, you'll know I took €100,000 loan out to go with the money that I'd earned doing quick jobs, so I could buy this truck. So the first amount what we get in total, I'm going to pay the first loan off, and then I'm going to earn a little bit of money after that, and then we'll start then I'll take a loan out, because
exit left.
for some of the trucks the work out actually a bit more dearer than the ATS ones, and America trucks depending on the amount of money what I'll need to fully truck and man a 3-part garage, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
turn left
and upgrade, buy all the garages at 3-port, get them operational, and then that's done, I'll start upgrading them to 5-port garages and trucking them like that. Which is the same as what I did with the Idiot's Guide profile, but with that you didn't see all the jobs. With this I'm gonna aim to show you a lot of the jobs what I'm doing, so but when I've got quite a few garages and drivers and things employed on the profile, then things will start ticking over, so buy garages more often, because your first lot of garages do take a while, and with the loans that I'll take out, I'll earn enough, pay those loans back and start afresh till I'm just at the point there where I can go basically self-sufficient, so and that's so I'll be owning drivers, most of the makes and models of trucks, so don't have too many of the same type about, so
get ready to turn right. Turn right.
when I get high enough levels I'll point at side skirts and some beacons onto this truck, so now with the extra tank it does give you, I think, around 400 or 400 and something extra litres of fuel compared to the standard 4x2. I have got fatigue on and fine switched on as well, so we're taking this load, it sure that you can do heavy loads with these entry level trucks, so a bit later on I'll be able to show you online
get ready to turn right.
Truck purchasing and garage purchasing, and also about the trailers, but I'm
right.
not going to concentrate on the ownable trailers yet because there isn't a vast amount I can actually buy, so they'll be coming probably in a separate video when I get well on into these series. Who knows when they release the 1.36 version for this game, which I don't know when it'll be. I'll be able to show you some of them, and hopefully if I can afford it when it releases, the Black Sea DLC as well. So we're at the channel tunnel here, so look for a green symbol here that's tunnel on it, pull in, which is the same you do with the anchor series at Perry's, just pull over it, do the usual things here, knock engine off and brake and do that off. Then you just press enter there. There's only ever one link here for now, so just press that, and then that advances your game time, that it adds the time that you actually on the train back onto your driving time, and full immersion Calais. We're near Calais anyway. So say, you'll get used to me showing you things a few times in this profile, but we'll be able to share things as we go along, and so it's planned to be a long series of many parts, because as we go along the jobs will get longer, and I know there could possibly be some jobs later on that's a couple of 1,000 miles between deliveries, but I'm not gonna do this country by country, city by city, unless enough people ask for that. See what's available on the job market and what jobs actually I think this truck is capable of. So I know now we'll be definitely okay up to 40 tons, so of course you will get incidents like that where coming around corners and things, but
turn left.
Can't be helped sometimes on tight corners. My driving isn't perfect, so
turn right.
if you've got a traffic mod on, that is a bad bit to come down there with anyway. So we've got 244 miles to go, but we will not make it in this driving session, so we'll show you how to take a sleep as well. I'm not going for economy with this load and this truck because the automatics in general aren't as economical as manual, but the technology is getting better all the time in real life with the autos, so and if the recording fails for any reason you will miss those jobs on the profile, but that will tell you and then what happens. So I have this set on automatic retarder, but if I want on cruise control,
go straight on.
retarder in operation, but this profile will not be going on Chuckers NP or Infinite Chuckers when that releases. I'm just gonna keep it as single player. But next time I come on, I may connect profile to World of Trucks, but obviously I can't show you be connecting it to World of Trucks because that will give my username and password away, so I'll do that off screen.
Turn left.
Now, I've never driven one of these with the halogen headlights in it, one with the xenon. Say the bottom option of them, I've forgotten where it is now. So I'm hoping to show you basically nearly all aspects of the game as we go across and things open up to us and things, so some points will be gone over more than once, but I have done a similar series with the Idiot's Guide on ATS explaining job markets and things, but I'll go over them later in this profile. So, if ever you want to know how much driving time you have left or time on the job, just press F6 and that'll bring a brief list of what cargo it is, where you're going, when you're expected with it, job income, how many hours are remaining on the job, and when your next rest stop is. So, see that I have 1 hour 21 minutes, so that'll be, I'll have to be off the road by 1:50 if I can. Which there's a rest stop coming up here. I don't need to get fuel. Yeah. So turn the map up now to show you where we are. I'll have to make a judgment here if I can get to the next rest stop, which possibly not, so we'll pull in here and have a rest. Engaging the retard just to slow down, and the truck gearbox will actually change while being in automatic. If we should manual, you'll have to do it yourself, but they're not effective under so many revs, so right, but there's a blue bar comes up that actually tells you when it's effective. So found a bed symbol and to rest, then switch engine off, press enter, and then you take a rest, and that advances your game time and resets your driving hours as well. So we're going left here, so the left, the road's clear, so we'll commence out and then we'll where to Amsterdam. So it's estimating there we're going to be there about 10 to 2, so we're looking at, and that's perfectly within the time frame. Doesn't matter if you're early, you don't get penalised, but you do if you go late as well. So and that's just a reminder of what we have on, because you haven't seen it in daylight. There, so got some type of military vehicle on, but I will be taking a wide variety of cargo, so won't all be military stuff, I hope. I'm going to try and keep dead running to a minimum, but that isn't always possible. By that I mean dropping off in one place and then going a load of miles to pick up a load. So, but I'm not going to do it where I pick up where I drop off a lot if I can help it, but sometimes it will work out like that. If you select a tier range, no matter what trim level you pick, it all come with an inbuilt sat nav like here, which it isn't bad in these. Don't think it's quite up to the level of what the... It's not a bad sat nav, but I still prefer the sat nav in the new Actros Mercedes, but that's my personal preference. But yeah. And never knock a truck till you've tried it yourself, and even if you don't like the old Renaults, try one of these out. There's something, they are available in quick jobs, so you can test them out yourself and see what they're like. If you've watched any of my convoy videos on MP lately, you'll know I've been using a Renault T. That one has a 480 engine in the one I'm using on there, which I haven't had any problems with. Apart from my own stupidity and missing gears because I shift that one manually. But these would be auto in real life anyway, so just a little bit of realism. In real automatic, because that's what I like. Simple automatic, yes, I could use it, but you have to remember that your brake becomes your accelerator when you're in reverse, and we're using a G29. If anybody's using G29 or 920 or all the versions of the world, they'll know the brake pedal is very stiff on these, so some problems. But nothing that can't be overcome. What I'll get up to when I drop this load off should be around 40,000 euros. Another. So when you come up to a railway crossing, some of them will bounce you like hell if you go over them at high speed, so slow down reasonably if you can and just go across them. And that saves a little bit of wear and tear on your truck, as well as prevents your load from getting damaged, because if you go across one of them high speed, it can't half bounce you. I've learnt my lesson with that one. On a high speed, it bounced me into barriers and things like that, so go easy. So now, if you're looking at the handbrake there and you think that looks very similar to a Volvo one, it probably is, due to Renault trucks being part of Volvo trucks group, so the engines and things are, I believe, in these proper Volvo derived ones. Same as some of the gearboxes will be as well. So I'm recording this on Thursday evening, but I'll probably upload it Friday or Saturday, so it's getting late at night now here in the UK. So I've just under 100 miles to do this job.
turn left.
Don't really want me no cab over Pizza with the Reaper on or Jimmy's hauling hogs in this series, because we actually are in Europe. And that was a reference there to convoy. Remind you that if you want any aspects of the game covering or explaining, I'll try my best to explain them. So, things. What trucks you should go for, and maybe ones to avoid and stuff like that, or if you don't know anything about the chassis and engines in them, just ask. But I'm explaining them like in the agency driver series, but don't mind sharing what knowledge I have. So but don't ask me to try fancy graphics mods or anything like natural looks. I haven't got enough RAM or computer to run natural looks properly. Processor in this, I believe, is dual core, I think. Using 8GB of DDR3 1600, which is slow and ancient now. I'll be able to explain the previous dash a little bit more later. Here's where I worked out which one is actually the one on the display where the MPG is, or the one at the bottom, which one's actually the trip counter. So can't explain the tiles on the dash. So at the upper left there, you got your fuel gauge. The blue round it is the AdBlue or your def fluid, which wherever you're from. Then you've got your air pressure, you've got your water temperature, and on the other side there's the rev counter. Green band where the peak torque is. And you put the retarder on or the engine brake, you get a blue light between 1500 and 2000 where that's most effective in operation. So now I've got to dash with you what I can work out. So in the middle at the top you've got your gear indicator, you've got a digital speedometer which all Renault trucks have. There's no analog or dial one like there is in the other trucks. Next to that you've got what your cruise control is currently set at. Then you've got your outside temperature, the time is in game, and then you've got, I've got the, I think, total distance up, your MPG, what your truck's currently averaging there, and then your instant MPG, which is what your truck's doing at any given moment. Now mine's in miles per gallon because that's what I could prefer to be in. And below that it looks like you've got a voltmeter, and I think that's total engine hours at the bottom there. Then you've either got the trip counter or the total distance of the truck.
And then turn right.
There.
Turn right.
So it gives you the indicator there, the orange one, and then the retarder is actually engaged as well. There's a green symbol there for when your engine brake's engaged as well. So if you drive manual engage engine brake, it cancels the cruise control. In automatic it doesn't always. Next screen now, that gives you your oil temperature, water temperature, and then you've got an air pressure gauge there. Then you've got a compass on this particular dash. You've got a blank screen, and then you've got what fuel you've got left, and estimated range of that fuel there. In case it's miles, but if you were in kilometres it would show you it in kilometres. It's only approximate, so but that screen's useful to have when it comes up that you're running low on fuel and stuff, so you know how far you can go without running out basically. And come back to the starting screen again. Okay, so couldn't quite holding it well. Engage the retarder. Goes down a little bit more, which is principally what a retarder's for holding speed or reducing speeds coming downhill. That's the main function of that. So we have 27 miles to go now. I've got a button set on here so it can resume cruise control, so it automatically goes to the last speed you had it set at, but that you can't engage cruise control or resume if you go under about 20 miles an hour, because that's when it engages. So and then you set it on different grid steps, so you can have
straight on
1 kilometre or 1 mile grid step. Next one's up 2, then I think it's by fuel choice. I have mine set on 2s. It's normally quite sufficient for a lot of the loads and speed limits. So there is a little bit of leeway. You can normally get away with going 1 or 2 mile an hour over the speed limit most times, so not a lot, not much more distance, so slow
Keep
down,
left,
and then I'm gonna try and
turn left.
change lanes without slamming into the one in front, and so without clipping the car behind if I can help it. So
turn left.
I have got a Discovery Hub in Amsterdam, and that's a DAF dealer. So if you use XPS's DAF mods, not available in DAF dealers in Britain I believe, but if you discover the dealer in Amsterdam, it's a main dealer, so they are available from there. Everything just move over.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
It's the only thing with automatic gearboxes, sometimes a bit slow in the changes, but you can normally manage alright with them, so...
Get ready to turn right.
Going to pick the discoverable up and then we'll...
Turn right.
Shut the load off. Here.
We are finished.
We'll be in a minute, Sky. I'm gonna change the sat nav voice when I find one that I do actually like. So... Okay, there we go. We now picked up a Daft dealer to go with some of the Renault dealers and Volvo dealers we've discovered so far. There's plenty of dealers for all the makes in the game spread throughout the map, so the two more, it's battery driving past them like we did there and use their large yard to swing this load back around, and I do have it set in random parking, so parking here, and it looks like there's a large tank, so here, so steerable axle trailer, so watch what I'm doing because they can get a little bit wayward when you try to steer them. So gonna get in here. Now. So I know some people have OCD and have to have them in straight, but as long as the box is green, that does for me. So just drop off the trailer, get the incoming results of the job. Which I now have another skill point to apply, so to level 7. Said last time I was going to put it just in time, so that enables the important deliveries, which are the ones with the 2 blue arrows, and the urgent, which are the ones with the 2 red arrows on, but it's for these John Market. So the next ones I'm going to be starting to put in will be some ADR, which is the, because you can get actually some good income for those. So no, I haven't connected it, so coming up. So to click over the city where you actually are, there's a blue arrow tells you your present position, so on that, and then you select your next job. So I've got man on destination, I haven't got it on right, so 55 ton, don't really fancy doing that yet, so that is actually the one up there is actually, I think, part of the railway cargo pack, so I've got time to do another one. What? I'll select that job, I'll go and hook it onto the truck, and then I'll continue in the next video or live stream, so but I will remind you of actually what the job is. So
time to hit the
sat
brake.
nav automatically set, so you don't need to work out on the map actually where you are.
Turn left. Turn left.
You just have to always take into account that the truck's handled differently when they haven't got a trailer attached. They're a bit more, they can be more railwood and squirrely, so...
Turn left, and then keep right.
And you may recognise this place if you played the game, as it's normally Tamarai or whatever, and you know how tight and awkward these are to get in and out without loads on.
Your route guidance
It's very narrow.
finished.
Because we're unloaded, it's easier to get in. So, pull over to the trailer symbol, press enter, and then go to the freight. Then select the job that we want. We'll go and go. So, yeah. Oh, I haven't put my Discord on Do Not Disturb, so you can't
Let's
get
do this.
that. So, anyway, so we've taken the job, we've hooked on our trailer, so yes, it is a form of railway vehicle, this, so it's a long time since I've done part of the railway cargo pack, so into the truck, and this is where we'll start next time, so apologise if you're a bit baffled by retarders and engine brakes, because I still am. Anyway, 10-10 for now, stay safe on the road and don't have too many accidents. Goodbye.